Triple M NRL Journos show back again. Adam Peacock alongside Michael Chammas from the Sydney Morning Herald warming up for his sprint race.
I'm going to be talking Mark Nawaqanitawase and his departure from the Roosters there the next year.
Who is quicker than you. We'll get into that in a moment. And Danny Weidler from 9 News.
We'll go through the entire Tommy Turbo debacle.
Oh, my goodness.
Mestrov wants you.
Boys, good to see you. How are you, Danny?
Great to be here. Pretty good. I'm excited for finals, grand final. Good time. Good times.
Chammy, you got your spikes on?
Yeah, I've been training actually, just running down the road.
You have not?
Yeah, I have been. I've been training.
You've been training?
Yeah, you got a big race next week.
Did Roger call you, Roger Fabry?
No, because I've already organised something with Usain, so I haven't been able to speak to Roger this week. But that's okay. I got a sponsorship deal with Usain Bolt.
So I watched every night of the World Athletics Championships, and when I tune into this, I'm going to see what man is capable of and what man is not capable of.
Yes.
And woman.
But do people know what we're talking about?
We're talking about the media sprint, which is going to be the big event next week. Don't worry about the grand final. The media sprint, I think it's on Tuesday, 1 p.m. Accor Stadium. So just the odds, they're fake odds. You can't get on. Because if you're betting on this, you've got way too much money.
Inside information, Adam. Be careful.
Josh Mansour, $1.10. James Graham, $15. Dave Riccio, $26. Tom Birmingham from Hello Sport, $26. Emma Lawrence with a double hip replacement, $101. And Buzz Rothfield, at the ripe old age of 82 at $1,001. I don't see Danny Weidler on here because he chooses not to run.
Not to run. I can't run.
To run. Michael Chammas, $101.
That is juicy. That is juicy. Get on me.
Juice Bigelow. And this man who's going to actually join us quickly, Brent Read. Reedy, News Corp's finest. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. What was I again? About 20-1 or something?
No. You're equal second favourite with James Graham.
I'm a bit disappointed I'm not outright second favourite, but anyway, you take what you can get, mate.
You might need to get on yourself big time, Reedy, and make some money because you might be without a job by the weekend because you're not supposed to be on a podcast with Danny Weidler. Aren't News Corp guys forbidden from being on a podcast with Danny Weidler?
Is this okay, Reedy, or not? Am I allowed to talk to you?
Sorry, boys, I've got to go.
Gee, Reedy, I felt sorry for you on 360. They're ganging up on you on the Bulldog stuff, aren't they?
That's all right, mate. It's all good fun, Danny. You know how it is. Yeah. It's all part of the cut and thrust of rugby league, Danny.
Team Ciraldo,
good,
Reedy?
Good fun, mate.
Team Ciraldo.
No.
Yeah,
I'm no one's team, Danny. I don't play anything, man. I'm straight down the line, buddy.
The Tuesday pod here at NRL Daily.
Did you read about the sprint? What's going on?
Yeah, no. I was just going to mention the Tuesday pod they're going to rename next year the Galvanators. But anyway,
Galvanators?
Yeah, exactly. Reedy, so at the moment you're starting on the same mark as Chammas. Now, your mates, even though you're different stables, vastly different stables, your mates, are you happy with the fact that you're starting alongside each other? Do you want Chammy to have a little head start so you can give him a slap on the arse as you blow straight past him at about the 20-metre mark?
Adam, he has got about 20 years on me in terms of age, so I think it's a bit. But I would say, when I heard I was on the same marker as him, I wasn't overly intimidated by it. Let's put it that way.
I'm pretty intimidated.
I'm pretty confident I got his measure, unless there's one caveat to that. I've got very dodgy calves, and they could go at any time. So I reckon I'll streak out the blocks. I'll have him out the blocks. If my calves last the first 40, I'll get to the finish line. If not, it's all over. It'd be like a sniper gets me from the stands. I'll be hitting the deck.
Oh, mate, I actually think Reedy's going to beat me. I'm not one to do humble.
No, you're not. That's not part of your makeup.
No, but I am a wog and we don't run very fast. Can I say that?
You can say it.
You can say
I
it.
probably can't.
I can say it. It's not really in our nature, so that's okay. I'm back in Reedy. I've seen him move. He's intimidating. He's quick. And I don't think I stand a chance. I've actually asked Charlie, the organiser of that, to put me behind Reedy, in front of Reedy, because the guy's a whippet.
This is very un-Chammas-like. You're not normally this modest. I'm stunned. I think it's
normally if I'm backing myself.
Security.
No, normally when I back myself, I have reason to back myself. I do not have reason to back myself. This situation is not good for the reputation.
Hey, Reedy, you going on the Kangaroo tour?
Boys? No, I'm not going. No, I'm not going.
Oh, so you're not sharing a car again with Chammy?
No, but can I tell you a little bit of a tidbit, a little sneaky tidbit? I mentioned the race on radio at the weekend. I've now got a sponsor as well, so I'm not going to name who the sponsor is. You'll have to wait till race day, but I've picked up an apparel sponsor, so I'm pretty pumped.
This will do me.
Ready, any chance you've been
Right,
one
back
of
to
those
winner.
Well, you've been a Kathy Freeman style suit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I did tell Gordy I would wear one unless I got a rival sponsor. And would you believe a rival sponsor has come out of the woodwork and backed me? So stay tuned, boys. I'm going to be looking very, very schmick.
I'll be throwing M&Ms at you again, Reedy, as you're running down the field.
Back in the good old days, when you used to get buckets of M&Ms and throw them on my face. Yeah. Anyway, one bloke will have the last laugh, and it won't be you, Chammy.
Reedy, thank you, mate.
Enjoy the view on my back. All right, boys. It's been a pleasure.
Rest up. Prepare well. Good luck.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Stretching's the key. Stretching right now. All right, take it
Yeah,
easy.
good stuff. Cheers, Reedy.
Adam, why are we plugging this so hard? Someone's getting an earn out of this.
No, because
I'm not part of any of this. Are you getting paid for this, Chammy?
I actually should be asking for something.
Yeah, I feel like someone's making money. And
Charlie White for sure, and James Graham.
It's a rort.
It's their rort. But I will say, I like building up because I just want to see you.
He's going to beat me. You know he's going to beat me. The old mother. The old bloke. He's going to beat me, and I'm really embarrassed about it. I've told Charlie I shouldn't be on the same line as him.
There's little spot fires all over the place because Tom Birmingham from Hello Sports said he'll get a tattoo of Dave Riccio if he doesn't beat him.
Wow.
Josh Mansour and James Graham, they're like the two characters from Step Brothers, the movie, those two. So something will happen between them. Buzz, well, who knows what will happen to Buzz? As I mentioned, apparently he's off the most ridiculous mark of all time.
They've got the ambulance standing by.
I think the people's champ here is Emma Lawrence. Everyone wants to see her.
Not Chammy. Chammy's a
No.
Everyone's sleeping on Emma. She's a dark horse.
Well, she's
She's
had
had
a very good athlete.
She has given birth and had a double hip replacement at this early juncture of her life
She gave birth
already.
4 months ago.
More.
Yeah.
She trains hard too, Emma.
What am I talking about? 4 months. Harper's nearly a year old. She's ready to rock and roll.
You know what? Okay. She's one of the most determined competitors I've ever met.
She's quick.
She's very competitive.
She walked all the way to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to matters that actually people might want to listen to right now. Rugby league news and opinion and all of those things.
Not gibber or less gibber.
That was absolute dribble to start
I
things.
agree.
We apologise after the fact. Mark Nawaqanitawase is lining up a Wallabies jersey for 2027, the World Cup. He's going to walk away from the Roosters for now. How's this come about? How the Roosters feel about it? Who's going to come out and say that let's take his Kangaroos jumper away for him for the Ashes because he's looking good to go on that tour? Where's it all at, gents?
Well, Chammy broke it, didn't you? So.
I think the Roosters saw it coming. They wanted to keep him. Meeting last week with the club and Mark. They need some sort of indication from him what he wants to do because they start planning for life pretty quickly. He leaves at the end of next season. Therefore, anyone who's available for 27 becomes available November 1. So the right thing to do is give the Roosters an indication of what he's thinking. And he's told them it's his desire to play for the Wallabies at the 27 Rugby Union World Cup in Australia. Now, did the story yesterday. I think this notion that he's guaranteed to come back, I think is probably off the mark at this point.
Hang on. That he's guaranteed or he's made a promise? I couldn't understand what you're saying there.
Well, there was a story in the telly that the Roosters are confident he's coming back. I wouldn't be so sure he's coming back straight away.
We heard the same about Joseph Suaalii. You know, I remember at the time I put it directly on Joseph, and he said that's not part of his plans. So, and I haven't heard any.
I'm not saying it won't happen,
Yeah,
but I'm saying right now there are no plans for him to walk back into the Roosters straight after the World Cup.
Right.
Because
and he wouldn't go for 1 year.
Well, if you are a prospective French rugby or Japanese rugby club, are you forking out the dollars that he could get million plus if you're only getting him for 1 season?
No chance.
So that's why I didn't write yesterday that he's coming back because the reality is they're looking at multi-year deal overseas.
So I wouldn't be surprised if just say he did a deal in Japan, right, for a couple of years and halfway through a season, a bit like when Joey Manu finished up and there was talk he might come back.
Or Sonny Bill.
Yeah. Halfway through a season, just say 2028.
Yeah.
He might be able to come back that way. Maybe that would be what the Roosters are hinting at or hoping for. But yeah, we'll see it.
But his earning capacity in rugby union is far, far greater than it
I thought
is
you were going to say something
in
else.
rugby league.
Yeah, the emphasis on the F there. Got us a bit scared.
Far greater.
You're a professional. I wouldn't expect that from you, Chammy. I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
So he can go and earn what he can earn overseas rugby, which would easily cover what he'd get from the Roosters. And then on top of that, whatever he'd get for playing for the Wallabies.
What's the match payment these days?
Significant. I don't know the exact figure, but it's pretty significant in Australian rugby for the Wallabies. And this is not to say that he just walked straight back into the Wallabies, but there's a fair chance that he's in the squad.
And I'm gutted that he's leaving league. I watch individuals, like that's why because we're not supporting teams. I like to watch individuals, and I will turn on the TV every single time he's playing. He is box office. At the start, he'd make a few errors. He eliminated a lot of those.
Good coaching by the Roosters.
Yeah, and now you watch him and you just you marvel at his talent. Like I haven't seen we've seen some great athletes, but I haven't seen many better individual athletes than Marky Mark, have we? I
mean, and the skill factor as well, which he's carried. And sorry to get all technical here, but you can see it when he goes into contact when he wants to keep the ball alive. He uses his rugby union skill because they need to keep the ball alive. They need to lay it back or whatever like that. His ability to just come up with something out of his hands and everything like that is freakish. So I don't know how the Roosters kind of manufacture something after the World Cup to get him back. But I think he's given himself every chance to land a damn big deal every year for the next decade of his career.
Quite a few Roosters in the Wallaby lineup. There'll be Mark Nawaqanitawase, Joseph Suaalii. Big chance Angus Crichton will be there for 2027. And a future Rooster, Max Jorgensen. Like it's a
future Rooster.
Well, that's been the talk for a while.
I reckon he could come after the World Cup. The Roosters have their sights set on him.
So, and Angus has indicated that rugby's something he's really looking at. So.
But rugby league best not assume that this is all just going to fall to them because of the way that Rugby Australia have changed the rules in terms of you can go overseas and play and still get selected for the Wallabies. And again, back to that earning capacity. The earning capacity of players in European rugby and in Japanese rugby blows rugby union out of the water at the top level. So that they can't just assume that all these guys are going to, because we're rugby league, they're going to come to us.
You know what's interesting, like from a broader perspective, like Roosters losing players. They didn't used to lose players they wanted to keep. I mean, we're talking Manu.
Yep.
I'm sure they would have liked to keep him and come back as well.
Is he going to come back?
I think he's in France at the moment, isn't he? Yeah. So I don't know if there's any immediate plan for him to come back. The Angus is going. I don't know how much. That might be a natural thing for Angus to go. But they lost a stack of players before that. Suaalii, they thought they were going to keep, but they didn't. But it used to be an absolute given that a player would be at the Roosters, and if they want to keep him, he's going to stay. That's changed.
Is this down the path of, and I'm just thinking on the spot here, so rugby league has gone into a lot of the GPS schools and come up, and a lot of these guys play both going through. So they've got that skill base in rugby union that they can always fall back on if they want to. So my question to you, Chammy, is I don't know how much you know about that space, that in 5 to 10 years, is this going to happening a lot? They're going to bounce between.
Look and the Roosters are the ones who have a lot of kids that are in these schools as part of their academy and their pathways with these young guys that they sign. They are going to schools like Joey's and Newington colleges and all those.
Look at him racking his brain.
Scott's College. That's what I was trying. I was trying to think of those schools.
He almost hurt himself then trying to think of a private school.
I think they've got a real affiliation.
Is Joey's a school?
Yeah, apparently.
They've got a real affiliation with Scott's. I mean, there's a lot of
Scott's. That's the guy.
Yeah, that's it. Scott's.
Colin,
mate, I'm all over it. But you know what I want to talk about?
What?
This notion that he shouldn't play for Australia, the Kangaroos this year.
So it's going to happen.
It's ludicrous because at the end of the day, rugby league isn't like rugby union where you play 10 or 15 tests in a year and you can blood people. Every test is must win, especially in a 3-match Ashes series that they have this year. And this thing that he's going to leave. Well, he's not leaving for another 18 months.
Yep.
He'll play 26 for the Roosters. And I hope to think that he'll play the 26 World Cup for Australia as well in rugby league.
So that's after the season. When would he have to start?
Well, he can dictate that.
Yeah.
He can dictate that. And he should make himself available to play for Australia at the Rugby League World Cup on home soil. This thing that what about Zach Lomax? Do we not pick Zach Lomax? There's discussions with Rugby 360. He may be walking out the door. Do you not pick Zach Lomax?
No, I'm happy to pick Mark.
You got to pick him. If he's good enough, you pick him.
But you can see the narrative that's going to come out. from the
it's already
NRL
started.
and PVL and the
I
hierarchy.
think PVL's
No,
actually.
it's not true. I spoke to PVL.
yeah.
Oh, he's okay with
I
it?
rang him on the way in.
Yeah.
He
he's
said
okay.
he wants to see him picked.
Oh, okay.
And
No
he's
dropper.
he's a
Anyone
chairman of
else?
selectors, isn't
Well,
he?
he's not a selector, but
Is
he.
he a chairman?
Well, he's the chairman, yeah. But he's saying, I want to see him picked, and people will walk through the gates at Wembley to watch Mark Nawaqanitawase.
Absolutely right.
He smashes rugby union at every turn.
Yeah. Well, he sees the light here.
He's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy for him to play.
Well, Gus wasn't happy. I saw Matt Thompson break the news to him live on his podcast yesterday.
Mm.
He wasn't happy.
What did he say?
Basically said it's free publicity for rugby union
Well,
for the next 12 months.
He said similar with Joseph, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
And he didn't.
So he's not happy. But, mate, you got to pick him. New South Wales picked Sawali in Origin. I didn't work out well, got sent off and
Yeah.
didn't find his way back
pick him.
in. But
if he's good enough, pick him. If he's in form, pick him. Like coaches want to win, right?
yeah.
So another bit of international news, and I'm fascinated by this because it's just dropped as we're recording on the player in question's own Instagram page. It's shades of LeBron and the what was it?
Take his talents to South Beach.
Well, Tino's taking his talents into England in a Kangaroos jersey, apparently.
To be a part of, I guess, the Ashes tour over in England, the first time in, I guess, a long time. It's a bit of history, and it's something that I really want to be a part of. And obviously, I've got unfinished business with the green and gold, and in the fashion that we lost in. And yeah, very, very grateful to be on that tour, and I can't wait for what's ahead, and can't wait to put that jersey back on.
So that's a flush way to say that you're playing for the Kangaroos. So, like, obviously, audio listeners here, it's on Tino's Instagram page that he's just cut up this. It's like a film clip.
It's like Chammy's Instagram. I watch that. There's all this fancy stuff on there that I'm going, how does he do that Chammy?
It's
Man,
a
this-
fancy thing called a story. Yeah. Very fancy.
Very fancy.
That's a rugby league player using his own brand
yeah.
to break some news.
He's promoting
seen that too
It
often.
looks like a clothing label as well. His own clothing label that he's promoting there.
Did he third person himself? Did he call? Did
Yeah,
he
yeah,
refer himself
yeah,
as Tino?
Yep.
Yeah, that's complete. That makes my day. That's good enough. Jamie, can you start third personing yourself on your Instagram?
I do.
I think you're. Do you?
I introduce myself to people as the people's champ.
I think you're capable. It'll be on brand for you.
It's a
I played
ridiculous
cricket on the
notion.
weekend. I got sledged,
Good.
Oh,
Yeah, people just giving it to me.
Good.
Your name got mentioned. I'm batting and I'm hearing Danny Weidler while the bowler's running in.
is that like an insult?
Yes.
So this podcast is cross-code now.
They're calling you Danny White.
They were actually they were just saying. Someone asked me. The keeper was talking to me, asking me, "What do you think of Danny Weidler?" I said I didn't like the bloke at the start, but I've come around. He's trying to get me off my game.
Okay. Firstly, Tino's decision to represent Australia. What do you read into that and what was said? And Tino's decision to do it that way, LeBron James style.
Yeah, it's cool. I like the way he did it. He did that there. Obviously, we try and chase the news and break the story ourselves, but they've got their own brands to promote. So, good luck to him. I think I read into that and think he's committed to the Ashes series. I don't think he's closed the door on Samoa in the future. And to me, that means unfinished business. Looking forward to this year's Ashes series. I reckon the conversation comes around again next year. Who does he represent at the 2026 World Cup?
Good victory for Kevy.
Good victory. Yeah.
He needed one because there's been a lot of traffic the other way, hasn't there? So I think that's a significant win for Kevy. And
A couple of wins. Keon Kalol-Matangi as well.
Yep. I think that's some good signs for him. Good signs. And Australia need those big middle forwards.
Does it change next year, though, in a World Cup year?
Potentially.
Potentially, yeah. I think if he goes and wins this series with the Ashes, he's obviously decided that this will be a special tour, and going over to England for the first Ashes series in 2 decades, wants to be part of it. Good luck to him.
Yeah.
I actually hope he plays for Samoa the following year at the World Cup. I do. As an
So is he-
Australian fan, I still hope he goes. I just want to see the other nations become as strong as possible, because one day, hopefully, we don't have a repeat of the Mark Nawaqanitawase situation and these guys leaving our sports to go play in a Rugby World Cup, because that's considered the premium World Cup product of the football codes. To grow our international game and become a fair income competitor, we need guys like Tino playing for Samoa.
Except for the round ball football code. I'll pick up on that one.
Premium rugby code. Sorry.
Thank you.
Well,
So,
look, leagues.
It was better than the AFL World Cup.
League World Cup's still a long way behind.
Yeah, well, you got to start somewhere, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, Rugby Union World Cup, when it started, was like,
Yeah, they played at Concord Oval, remember?
Yeah.
is this really going to work?
Yeah.
I remember.
I've got some news a bit later on the Rugby League World Cup. We'll get to that.
No, we'll do it right here, just after the fact that I want to ask you both you guys the question: Is it you say that Tino wants to go on the Ashes and be a part of it, and then be a part potentially of Samoa's Rugby League World Cup. Are we okay with the fact that he's picking and choosing what tours he can go on and what he wants to go on?
For now, yeah, but I think the game needs to rethink what it does. And my belief is you get to choose every World Cup cycle who you're going to want to represent.
So the whole cycle.
Yeah.
You can't just...
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So at the end of this
Dive around.
World Cup in next year, 2026, I think everyone has to sit down. By March 2027, you need to select your preference.
Yep.
And the only thing that I would say is I would still have tiers. I would say England, Australia, New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you select that tier, who you want to play. But what I don't want to see is Alex Johnston selecting Australia, not getting picked, and then not playing for Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
So if you're going to play for one of those nations who aren't a chance
Yeah.
at winning a World Cup, let's be fair dinkum. You've got 5 teams who are going to win. Or Villiers, no, he's not eligible, but someone like that.
Well,
Xavier Coates, let's say he falls off a cliff. He's elected to play for Australia, doesn't get picked. I think then you need to have a tier 2 nation that you select, and I'd like to see him go play for PNG.
like Nathan Cleary, and if, he fell off a cliff and he goes plays for Ukraine.
Yeah, correct.
When he said
be
tears,
a
I thought he was
story.
going to cry.
I know, same.
I was actually worried.
He's
I thought,
not an emotional
I'll be crying
guy.
on Tuesday next week when Reedy beats me.
This is the first time I've ever seen
humble.
him play something down.
Yeah, he's
Because
never
it's
been
not my
humble.
strength running.
Never
If we're
been
having a
humble.
sideline conversion contest at a core
Can you
stadium
throw that
after
in?
the run, I'm going to try and speak to Charlie. I'll back myself. I'll back myself against the whole field, Sauce included.
Okay.
Actually, my theory about Wogs can't run is out the window with Sauce,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Well, you
Yeah,
can
but he's
say
half
that.
Portuguese, so he's got the good genes.
I have no comment on getting involved in anything that you have just said
This
in
could
the
be
last
Don't
10
be-
seconds.
don't be
You
PC,
could be
mate.
more Daily Mail clickbait
Nah.
here, Jamie.
No,
The way you're going.
Okay.
I'm not touching it. Not
Okay.
touching it.
Anyway, that's what my thoughts are on the eligibility situation going forward.
You
No,
agree
I'm
with
happy,
him?
I'm happy with that. Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
It's unusual. It must be a really good idea.
It's a good idea.
Mm.
Good idea.
Uh,
Jamie does have good ideas.
Once in a while. Channel 7 going to broadcast the Rugby League World Cup.
Yeah, breaking story today, the Sydney Morning Herald website, the Channel 7, $12 to $13 million they've paid for the Rugby League World Cup next year. Channel 9, DAZN, not getting the rights. They've got exclusive rights, 7, to the
This
whole
happened
thing.
2 World Cups ago, didn't it?
In 2017, it was also a World Cup in Australia.
Yeah, I remember covering that.
To me, it looks like a message from the NRL to 9, mainly 9, who we work for, but to DAZN, that nothing is a given when it comes to the broadcast rights negotiations going forward. 2028, they're up for grabs. 7 have made a big play at this. My view, speaking to people at 9, is they felt as though it wasn't worth the money that was required to buy it, and they would rather save that money and save it for the NRL and Origin rights when they come up for grabs. So
I would be astonished if Channel 7 made a heavy play for the Rugby League
Well,
rights,
I
given
don't know-
their
I don't know
investment in
how they
AFL.
can.
Yeah.
The AFL investment is massive.
Well,
the
we
AFL TV contract is massive, and I don't think you can put those two sports on the one network.
Mm.
You just can't.
No.
And all this stuff. I mean, you could probably buy sections of. You could buy the Origin. You could buy a World Cup, but I don't think 9 would want the league rights without Origin, for
Gee,
example.
haven't 7 changed their tune? I remember rocking up in Perth for Origin, and the 7 West Media-owned newspaper, the West Australian, relegated Origin to the escort services page. Now they bought the rights to the Rugby League World Cup. That is a bigger backflip than Daly Cherry-Evans.
We'll talk about Manly right after the break. Danny, Chammy, you're both across this. I'm not really across it. I'm just reading about it, and I'm confused. I'm worried. I'm concerned. I'm all of those things about the Manly Warringah Seagulls look to be going down the path of negotiating their way out of re-signing another should-be lifetime player for the club. And we still don't know, DCE, where he's going to be in 2026, but where's Tom Trbojevic going to be in a few years' time?
Look, it's a fascinating story, right? And one that Chammy first got rolling when he talked about Tommy was about to re-sign to a 3-year contract. And I think at the time that was 100% correct. The only problem for that contract was that Manly changed it.
How and why?
Well, So Manly's original offer was supposed to be, according to the Chammy story, $850-ish per year.
Yeah.
Maybe $9.
850 to 9 each year.
Yeah. And that's what Michael reported, and it was correct.
Mm-hmm.
When Tommy got the actual contract, it was different. This is typical Manly.
So, from reading both those articles, so Peter Gentle was at the forefront of negotiations. Where was Tony Mestroff in all of this? Where was Scott Penn in all of this? And was I don't know, is there a communication issue between those three levels that has resulted in this happening?
So Tony Mestroff had previously met with Tom Trebojevic's agent, Paul Sutton, I think on the Gold Coast. In this instance, he'd sent Peter Gentle to do the discussion with Paul Sutton, who'd flown down to Sydney last week to meet with them.
And Peter Gentle was also at the forefront of the Daly Cherry-Evans discussions.
Yes.
Not Tony Mestroff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked Tony Mestroff why he wasn't there. He said that he had something on and he couldn't attend. Okay. So, but he'd previously been engaging in those conversations. Now, as I said, what are you laughing at?
Oh, it's your star player.
Oh, I understand.
It's your star player. You either reschedule the meeting or you attend, because it's no secret. I mean, I've been writing for weeks that there's been an issue between the Trbojevic camp and Manly.
But what section of Manly? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
But isn't that the heart of the problem? The question that you're asking right now is the actual heart of the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the frustration from Tom Trbojevic is, I love this club, but who's running the show?
And that's the
What's
frustration
go?
from everyone who goes in to watch Manly at Brookvale with a Manly jumper on.
Yeah.
Is like, what section of the club is doing this?
Well, that's the thing. And then you got Peter Gentle meeting with you. You got Mestroff in the background. What's Penn's role? What do the owners think? What do the board think? In this situation, this is what happened. There's a conversation that's held, $850,000 to $900,000 a year. The manager of Tom Trbojevic,
which is a significant pay cut.
Yeah, but do you know what, mate? I'm not bagging Manly for the offer.
I'm not. Neither. I'm saying it is a pay cut.
Yeah, it is.
He's taking less money to stay.
And he was okay with that, wasn't he?
He's okay because it's never been about money for Tom. He's been willing to take pay cuts voluntarily throughout his career.
You did a story saying he wanted to take a $750
for 2 years, over 2 years to help them sign players.
Yeah.
The NRL wouldn't let it happen.
Yep.
Surprised that Manly even said to him, "Go to the NRL and with it," but that's another conversation.
Manly don't know the rules.
This year, he gets told they wanted to be Origin 18th man for game one. 30,000 guaranteed for doing nothing, potentially. He says to Laurie Daly, "Mate, I don't think it's right for me to go into camp and miss out on playing for Manly." So he chooses Manly over 30,000 guaranteed.
Which I didn't know you're allowed to do that either, by the way.
Well, it was an understanding a respect between him and Laurie.
Yeah.
So to me, that's right then and there. Any argument about money is out the window. It's not about money for Tom. So $850 to $900 is presented over 3 years, which is a long extension. I think it's a fair deal. I actually think Manly have offered him a fair deal. Then what happens is, as the story's breaking, at around the time just before or just after, I haven't been able to work out what happened, they go back to his manager, because this was all verbal, by the way, $850 to $900, and the indication was we're going to the board for approval. Then they come back and say, we're going to give you $900 in the first year, $800 in the second year, $700 in the third year. We're going to include a ratchet. Now, it's my understanding that the Trbojevic camp believed there was a ratchet included in the original deal anyway.
I've talked to Paul Sutton, his manager, a number of times, and he said a ratchet was included. Okay. I've talked to the boss of that company, or the head of that company, George Mimas, which is SFX. He said a ratchet was part of it. He said that his agency were either the trailblazer in ratchets or one of the very first to make sure that they're always included.
Yeah.
So and I'm trusting George Mimas, and I'm trusting Sutton.
On the flip side, Manly claimed that their view was there wasn't a ratchet clause. So that's both. I've spoken to both of them.
I can't get Manly's point of view because Mestroff.
Well, I have. I've spoken to them. Their point of view is a ratchet wasn't going to be included in the original deal. Now, for those listeners thinking, what the hell is a ratchet?
Yeah, explain it for us, Jamie.
So basically, in 2028, we don't know what the salary cap's going to be because we don't have a broadcast deal. So if the salary goes, let's just say the salary cap goes up by 10%. That means the $800 in the second year, because that's the first year of the deal, will be worth $880,000, and the $700 becomes $770.
It's like prorated.
That's right. So that Manly's argument is, well, we're going to give you $900, $880, and $770, which works out to be about the $850 that we originally did. I don't know why they had to restructure it. On the flip side, Paul Sutton, Trbojevic's agent, he's like, no. It was $850,900 plus the 10% or whatever it's going to be
ratchet.
on top, which gets us close to $1 million per year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the money. Tom's gone into this negotiation feeling like the club's a rabble. He's feeling like the club don't want him there, and perhaps they're going to give him a contract out of a gesture of good faith or pity because he's been a good servant.
That's some pretty big statements you just made.
Well, that's how he felt.
Yeah.
He wanted to feel the love. He
So
felt
hang on.
that.
So he feels the club's a rabble.
You've written that over and over
I'm
again.
just saying that you're saying it from him directly.
Well, that's my understanding,
Yeah.
yes. That he's
Okay.
frustrated with the direction of the club and a lack of leadership at the Manly Seagulls.
Yep.
So,
that confirms everything I've been hearing.
yeah, you're on the money with all that. So what happens then when you go in there and do the exact thing that he fears, which is show a lack of leadership and management and change the structure? They may argue over the value. They can do that. That's themselves. I'm not in the conversations. I don't know what happened. They have different version of events. But you change the structure on a guy who's already feeling a bit out of love with the club. You give him every reason to think, what am I bothering? Enough's enough. Maybe it's time to go. Maybe this place isn't going to clean its act up. It's going to be a basket case forever. Maybe I just go and enjoy my life in England, go with my partner, spend a few years over there before I have children and enjoy it, travel Europe. Maybe that becomes an appealing option for him.
Can I just jump in there? I'm going to actually send Tom a message of a picture of Warrington in February and a picture of Mona Vale Beach in February. Maybe that'll do the deal. I'll help out Mestrov and Penn and co.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going to stay there for life. But Warrington, in the meantime, they are having conversations and have presented him with a 2-year deal. Now, I don't think it'll be as lucrative. But to my point, it's not about money for Tom.
And Simon Moran, he's the owner, isn't he?
He's the owner of
He's a big
Warrington.
wheel in England.
Yeah, very big deal.
And I think he could open some doors for Tom over there as well if you want to do other things or
I don't think he goes, Danny.
Yeah,
My gut feel is I don't think he goes.
Well,
he's in Bali at the moment on holiday with his partner, enjoying some time off. They get married at the end of the year. I've been told he's in no rush now. He was ready to sign the deal. He was happy. Now in no rush to get a deal done. Manly, on the other hand, are trying to get a deal done because they've been left.
Isn't
with
it embarrassing?
It is.
After the Daly Cherry-Evans stuff?
It is.
I mean, they still dispute stuff about that contract.
Well, you wrote on the weekend. You feel like history's repeating itself.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I think like you're saying, it would be quite the turn up if he left. And the expectation is he will stay. But the fact that we're going through this again highlights the problems at Manly.
Yeah. What's the owner doing? Is in New York half the time? Are they selling? Are they not selling? Sorry, Adam, I know it's your club.
No.
But at the moment...
You're being a bit quiet here.
Well, I'm just taking it all in because it's bloody confusing as a Manly fan. I'm just trying to picture where Manly Football Club members who kind of can, attend an AGM and ask the relevant questions when they'll get their opportunity. Because I could imagine if this still thing's bubbling away, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong inside that football club because you cannot let... Okay, Cherry was one thing and okay, he's gone. But this guy, you're going to let this guy kind of wither, dangle in the wind and just wait?
Where's Jake in all this now?
Well, Jake's got a 1-year deal on the table, which I think he was going to accept. But I think they finally got it right. They actually did the right thing. Whether or not Mestrov should have been there, I agree with you. Should have been there, should have. But they presented an offer that is fair, I think more than fair to Tom. Long-term deal, reflects their love for him. And it was there. It was done.
Yeah,
they were ready to accept. Then they pull a Manly move and move the goalpost. They do.
Yeah, yeah. And the other interesting thing that's happened is Michael Ennis has left the club. He was there. Oh,
sorry.
You're right, mate. You're watching reels while we're talking.
Yeah. No.
Michael Ennis has left the
Just
club,
looking
and
for
he was their next coach.
Yeah,
supposed to be, or told he's going to be. And I can tell you that there are players at that club who are not happy that Michael Ennis has left.
Because that's what I was checking. That it was a 1 day a week thing that they cut him.
He was given
to?
like his original role was a couple of days a week or 3 days a week. It was cut back to 1.
Yeah.
And Michael said Michael saw the writing on the wall. Said, "All right, well, I'm out of here."
So are they angling down a different path for the Seabold backup? Manly.
They must be.
I just think they're back to Seabold because they don't want to be even more embarrassed, to be honest with you. I just think they couldn't afford, not financially, but they couldn't afford the public humility of getting Seabold wrong.
Humiliation.
What did
Yeah.
I say? Humility.
Humility.
Sorry,
Something
the public
again you don't have.
humiliation.
The public humidity of...
Can we cut? Yeah, I don't want to sound dumber than I am.
No, that's staying in.
They couldn't afford the humiliation
Yes.
of going through what they did, what they would have went through to get rid of Seabold.
Victor Radley. This is him on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Sydney with Danny Weidler standing in front of him.
I just spent 15 minutes inside with Louise, and I'm a bit embarrassed here saying I've had a tough time because the bigger scheme of things, I'm fine. You know, I'm going to cop a sanction. I'm going to move forward in my life. Me and Nick have had 2 meetings now. I think we'll keep what we speak about behind closed doors. But
You guys all right?
yeah, we're all right. Yeah, I definitely apologise for the negative spotlight that was kind of shone on the club for the past 3 weeks, really. I think my missus isn't too happy with Can the wedding. We're meant to get married at the end of next year.
Wedding?
Yeah, we're organising it, but we're going to struggle to come up with it anyway now how expensive they are, but we'll put it on the back burner. She was stoked.
So how'd that come about, Danny? So Victor, he's accepted, he's taken full responsibility for his actions, you know.
Well, he's taken responsibility for putting the club in a bad light.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, we can't say what happened or didn't happen because we don't actually know, right? And there's been no proof that he took drugs, anything like that. So let's just put that on the table. And yeah, I did speak to him outside St Vincent's Hospital. You know, he was reflective. He was actually a bit embarrassed, as he said, to be doing an interview there after, you know, donating the $30,000 to the hospital, because he knows that, well, first of all, this story, it's not, Victor's involvement isn't the worst thing we've ever seen by a long shot. It's embarrassing for him. It's embarrassing for the club. But he felt more embarrassed that he was talking when, you know, outside a hospital where there were people who have real problems. Let's be fair, Inkem. Like,
As significant as it gets.
yeah, as
problems.
significant as it gets problems. And I actually think that his awareness on that was good. And because often people don't have awareness when they're going through a difficult time. And yeah, he's been through some difficult days. He thought he was gone from the Roosters. In fact, he probably was gone from the Roosters, but there was there's been a strong feeling at that club that they didn't back their players enough. And it goes back to the Mitchell Pearce dog, Bella the poodle incident.
What about your line in your article, by the way?
What was that?
On the weekend. Bella is okay, by the way. Or
No,
something like that.
Bella's not okay. I think
She's dead, mate.
Bella's passed away.
No, at the time.
Oh, Bella was
Yeah.
okay at the time.
Yeah.
No dogs are
You,
harmed.
you had to, like, was that illegal? Was that from the legal department to just say that Bella was okay?
There's no
or-
suggestion that Bella the Poodle did anything unlawful.
We've got to write in all sorts of stuff.
It's up yours. It's like down your path, Chammy. Your favourite line in your articles,
Yes.
speaking on the
Condition of anonymity.
Yeah.
anonymity to protect
Rest in
sources.
peace, Bella.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. But yeah, the club felt that they rolled over too much to public pressure at that time, and they felt, and with good reason. I mean, when you look at it with a bit of hindsight, the 8-game, $125,000 fine.
They still rolled over.
They rolled over. I'm saying they're disappointed they rolled over.
But they rolled over again. That fine is enormous. That's only because of Nick's comments. Yeah, I know they didn't roll over and sack him, but they still rolled over and through the
playing-
kitchen
the
sink.
playing group-
If
the playing
Nick doesn't
group
give
did
an
not-
interview, he doesn't get that
Yeah,
fine.
of course he doesn't.
The playing group
And
did
if
not want
Roosters
him.
win that game, I'm sorry, but if Roosters beat the Sharks in week 1 and that unfolded the following week, which it did, there's no way they take that course of action. I'm sorry. They do not stand him down. Robbo stands up and gives the same line he did before. Until we have all the facts, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
But I'm saying they didn't want to be bullied by the media. And
You know what I didn't like, Danny? It was a good get, by the way.
Oh,
I actually thought it was a bad look, though.
Well, I was just about to say, like,
what was?
Just parading Victor as this PR exercise.
I wouldn't have done
at a
that
hospital.
there.
Listen,
and I know you didn't have a choice in
I
that.
didn't have a choice in
You
that.
wanted to line up the interview, and it was like you got to go there and do the interview. You didn't get the choice, but I would have just done it away from, just like moments
did look
away
good.
from. Yeah,
It looked like you were showing off. Not you, sorry. It looked like they were showing off. Look what we've done.
I was really confused though when I looked at the reel, the 9 News promo reel. Loved my 9 News at 6 p.m. And shut up, Brace. That it, like on the reel, it had. I was really confused about where it was going to be that night, what channel it was going to be on with the promo. So you had to put stickers all over it to make sure that you're.
That's how you know how the media works.
I do, yes. That Channel 7 or Channel 10 couldn't then use it on their promos.
Well, they would have liked the interview.
Yep.
That's as simple as that.
You have to push hard for it, the interview.
I've been asking for it for a while since it all started happening. Yeah, I've been in the background speaking to people at the club, and look, Nick, I think Nick Politis wanted it all to happen like that.
I don't think Buzz was happy.
Well,
Ooh.
I'm sure Buzz will get looked after somewhere else. By the
Hey,
Roosters.
yes.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah, I asked for the interview too, Adam. Didn't get it.
Oh, you got brushed.
What? Yeah.
Hey, that's the power of Weidler, isn't it?
No. Look,
Hey?
I think, Chammy, you know that once I got the words, you can use them. So there's no.
So I'm like,
That's
I'm like
nice.
sloppy seconds. Thanks, brother. Thanks for your generosity. I'll just pick up the crumbs when you leave your cookies around. Okay.
Far out.
How many bylines I've had this year? Michael Chammas and Danny White.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's extraordinary.
We are a good team, Danny. We are a good
so I was
team.
happy to provide you with stuff.
So what happened was that you got the
TV
audio visual
yep,
exclusive.
yep,
The
and
Telegraph got the print exclusive.
and that's how it worked. And I think that I was happy enough. So, and I'm sure that Dennis, the Bullfrog Richie, was happy too.
Michael, the People's Champ, Chammas wasn't though.
That's okay. I'd rather have what we did last week anyway.
How are you going to go with? If you're going on the Kangaroo tour, aren't you? You
Yeah.
get on with Bulldog.
Yeah, we've regularly toured together,
Yeah,
actually.
okay.
We spent time in America with the Roosters, hanging out in the car, driving around to Santa Monica, having dinner with Don Ferner.
You must annoy him though, because you're so chirpy and up and about. He's much more laid back than
I got to say, I got to give him credit. I put up this torpedo bomb at training at Roosters, thinking the old bloke won't catch it, and he took it. It was one of the most embarrassing
He
moments
wasn't
of
a
my
bad
life.
footy player.
Yeah,
today.
I heard.
Better than
This is a
you,
rugby
Chammy.
guy or a leaguey?
He's a leaguey, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dogs and Raiders. So they're on their off season right now, given what happened last weekend. Interested in future plans. So, yeah, like you go back 5-10 years in rugby league, and not much happens in terms of all of a sudden moves roster wise. Like everything's planned ahead of the game. So both clubs have players coming in that they know about, but is there going to be any more movement given what happened in the final series to both of them? Bounce out in terms of, making things happen in the market and moving players on to accommodate new ones that as we sit here right now, not really on the radar.
Well, first of all, I think both clubs had great seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Both clubs would be unhappy with how they exited. And I think both clubs would be well and truly ahead of what they planned for. So I think that, like, this season, I didn't see the Raiders doing this. Not even
no way.
close.
I had the
not
Raiders
even
for a
close.
spoon.
Also, I feel for them how they exited, but it's been a far more soft exit for the Raiders, media-wise, than it has been for the Bulldogs.
Well, we know why.
We haven't seen why.
Okay. Do you want me to break it down for you?
I had the Bulldogs in my grand final to start the year.
No,
so
I'm saying the exit. We haven't seen pylon on the Raiders for going out as a minor premier straight out, whereas there has been a pylon.
Well, there wasn't
on
a
the
pile
Bulldogs.
on the Bulldogs last year when they made the finals. They were going well
Hang on.
halfway through the year,
Hang on,
and then
hang on.
lost to Manly.
Let's
week
stop
one of the
dancing
final.
around it.
Yeah.
Firstly, Canberra, not in Sydney. Bulldogs, right in Sydney.
Bulldogs.
Canberra, everyone's got sympathy for the way that they lost that game against Brisbane. Even though,
And
on
Ethan
reflection,
Strange
the
didn't
last
play.
20 minutes,
Yeah.
the 20 minutes of that Brisbane game that they had it in their control and it didn't quite happen for them. The style of footy that they play again. Flip side, Bulldogs, the Galvin move mid-season, Phil Gould involved in the club, all of that.
Not a glove's been laid on Canberra.
And then nor should they. They
I'm saying-
had no right to be here where they are.
Yeah.
They had no right with
And
that
did-
roster to
did the
be
Dogs
as
have a
players
right to
good
be
as-
where they to
Yeah,
finish
they
the
did.
top
I
four?
yeah, they did.
I
I
didn't
thought they
have
were a
them in my
top 4
top
team.
four.
Oh, get out of here.
I didn't have them in my top 4.
Shut up.
I thought they were top 6.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Like my line last year
Well,
about
top
the
6 is
Roosters.
week 2.
Good roster, not great roster.
Yeah.
Is that one?
He got his team to a minor premiership when they should have been fighting for a spoon. He got his tein within a whisker
Yeah,
of winning week 1 to go to a prelim.
Yep.
Ethan Strange gets sick on the eve of the game and he's out of there.
Yep.
So they overachieved.
If
Canterbury.
if another team had exited from being minor, if it was the Dragons, there'd be a pylon.
Yeah, they Dragons in 2009.
Yeah, pylon.
There was a pylon.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
but that's 'cause we expected them
I
to be
agree with you.
there.
Ricky did so much. The Raiders and Ricky overachieved by miles, right? And I agree. It's great. The Bulldogs also. I think they overachieved.
No,
Top
I
four.
think they did what they probably expected.
Okay, I
would be
disagree.
done.
I
They
think
made week
over-
1 of the finals last year. So what's the next step for them? Week 2.
Yeah.
Similar, yeah. Similar. But they did. I don't think they were that much on paper better a team this year than they were last year.
Yeah.
Not that much better.
I think top 4 was about their
I
pass
had
mark
them- I
for
had
the
them
regular
sixth. I had them,
season.
I think 5th or 6th.
And there are extenuating circumstances why they went out.
Yeah, and
It's
I know
because of the
why.
injury
And we know
toll
why there's this whole attack on Canterbury.
Yeah.
The attack on Ciraldo has been extreme. I think it's been pretty personal with Cameron Ciraldo.
Yeah, he didn't like Timu Bulldogs, did he? Timu Panthers.
Yeah.
Was there a headline that Timu Panthers was there?
I'm just saying the attacks on Ciraldo have been at like really questioning his character, his inability to say that he got something wrong. It's been full on. Whereas I think he did a good job with them. And as Gus said on 100% footy, a coach doesn't make decisions because he thinks he's wanting to lose. He wants to win.
Well, he also said, in reference to a question from Paul Gallen on that particular television show on Monday night, it suits the media narrative to describe the way you did just then. Gould responded in reference to Paul Gallen saying if it was self-sabotage that ruined their season. Gould went on to say, now it's led to this media barrage and a lot of it has been childish and extremely unfair. But as I say to the boys, welcome to the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Well, I actually I thought Gal and Cam Smith did well hitting Gus with those questions.
Yeah, they asked some good questions.
I would have loved to have been there. It would have been good fun. But
No invite again.
I think that ship has sailed. But I think that people in the media are well within their rights to question whether the Bulldogs blew up their own season. Do I think that they made a move?
It's not black and white.
It's
The answer's not black and white.
But it's a fair question to ask. I lean with the Bulldogs on the argument that they played all the easy teams to start the season.
Yeah.
They weren't flying in their own mind, and they felt Toby Sexton wasn't the answer. I don't disagree that Toby Sexton's not the answer. I've had conversations with Cameron Ciraldo in the last couple of days about this whole conversation. My argument is I'm not questioning that Toby Sexton, that your decision that Toby Sexton's not the answer was wrong. My argument is, was the solution the right answer? Was Lachlan Galvin to 7 the right answer? Lachlan Galvin to 6 makes sense. Did they make the wrong call in moving him to 7? They're all things that they will discuss throughout the year and have throughout the week, have a review of what went wrong. Bringing Lachlan Galvin to the club was the right decision. He's a good signing. My thing that I've said on this podcast all year was timing. And if people at that club were not awake to the fact that this was going to blow up, then they are naive. Because it was always going to be, and not just a media barrage, a public barrage of Lachlan Galvin because of the actions that took place at the West Tigers, for the way he went about it, for going after Benji Marshall, not him directly, but his management company. He's a legend of the game. People weren't going to take well to the way he tried to shit all over Benji Marshall. Then he goes and moves on mid-season.
Did you see the story
Bulldogs.
that came out today, as well?
About what?
Christian Nicolosi?
About?
You don't read your own paper?
About Blaze Talangi.
No,
Yeah,
about Galvin
Penrith.
sounding out Penrith, or Galvin's
His
people
manager
sounding out
sounded-
Penrith
His manager always sounds
when
out
they
Penrith.
found out that Luai was going. I found that very interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
that's an Isaac Moses move. But the point I'm making is the Bulldogs were naive to the fact that this was going to blow up, that it was always going to end in a circus. He did that. They did that. Tigers, that whole circus. It would have been best for everyone. Wait until the end of the year and sign him. And that was also part and parcel with the fact that Gus has come out and said at the start of the year, best teenager he's ever seen. Ciro moving him to 7. That is the circus they created.
So just on Ciraldo, I'll say this, and you can say if you've had this discussion with him. He actually, if it's any other coach or many other coaches, you go, well, he's taken an unnecessary risk here by trying to mould his team in a different direction in order to get the big prize. But Ciraldo's been around the team who has won the big prize time and time again. So he knows what the end game looks like.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of working out how to get there. And you can't, Penrith didn't rush this process.
Mm-hmm.
This all came about, this Penrith dynasty, because of a lot of hard work that went on from when these kids were still in high school.
Yeah.
However, does Ciraldo on reflection now think, okay, I know what the end game looks like, but getting there will take a few other manoeuvres instead of just this one?
So with the Toby Sexton stuff, right, and the Read Marnie stuff, before Lachlan Galvin was even a part of any conversation at the Bulldogs, Cameron Ciraldo had huge doubts about that pair.
That's what I mean. He
And
knows what the end game looks like, and it didn't include them.
It wouldn't have mattered whether Lachie Galvin was there or not. There were going to be changes in those areas. Whether it meant both areas or not, I don't know. But Bailey Hayward was being positioned to be either the halfback or the hooker for that team at the end of the season, like at this part of the season. Simple as that. And if you look at, I really like Toby Sexton as a guy. He's a genuinely good guy. Dealings with him have been great. So I don't want my comments to be taken as me having a personal crack at him. But with Toby Sexton, the feeling of the Bulldogs was that they weren't going to get the job done. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And they point to the fact that the final that they made last year, he didn't deliver how they wanted, right? The games this year, in the 2 end-of-season games, where he was a halfback when he was moved into the team and then made starting halfback, they felt he didn't deliver.
Especially closing out the Melbourne game.
That really irks the club, right? The kick out on the full irks the club. And I'm just reporting to you what I've been told. It's not my personal view. The other thing that they say, for all the people who were cheering for Toby Sexton in the media, they say, what club from the NRL signed Toby Sexton when he was available for 8 months? No one.
Zero.
No one. He was playing second grade at the Titans when they signed him.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying these are the facts with Toby Sexton. And I hope he has a fantastic career, and I hope that when he comes back from France, he lands a first grade gig and is highly successful. But that's the way the Canterbury club were thinking. And Bailey Hayward was going to be part of that. But before Lachie Galvin was on the radar, Bailey Hayward, and you know this, Chammy, he was going to be a big part of that first grade side because they think he's the best communicator in the club and he's a vital part of everything they do.
So Mitch Woods, his name, he's one of these kids that has come along and he's known before he's seen, almost.
There's a couple of them. Joey Walsh at the moment. There's a few of them,
Oh, we've seen Joey Walsh
now we
at
have,
least
but
one.
even
But
before,
Mitch Woods. So is this part of the evolving Canterbury roster that he starts to break his way in, and then at the same time as this kid's been mentioned, the storyline of Matt Burton and what's his future has emerged, a couple of font sizes. So, where do we sit here?
Well, I think Matt Burton is a centre at that football club long term. Might not start the
Do
year.
you think he's a centre at any football club?
Yeah, I think he's a world class centre. Matt
Yeah, but the problem is you've got.
I think he can play 5'8", but not. They haven't got a 7.
Yeah.
Lachie Galvin's not a 7. It became clear this year.
So
doesn't mean he can't play.
So what do you think is their 7'6"? What's their spine?
Eventually it's going to be Woods and Galvin, which means it's an expensive centre to have on your books.
Yeah.
So
Hang on a minute. 3 doesn't go into 2 there. They've already got 2 damn good centres.
They got Crichton
and Cherry. Well, maybe Connor Tracy has given him some food for thought. Maybe someone's got to move to fullback. Maybe it's Crichton's time to play fullback.
I'd be amazed if that happens.
Well,
given he's the best defensive centre in the game.
Adam, you remember when they recruited Stephen Crichton from Penrith, there was a lot of talk about him being recruited as a fullback. Do you remember that or not?
And they tinkered with their attack a little bit this year.
He played fullback in attack at times, yeah.
Yeah, get him some
What
ball.
about Burton as fullback? That's been thrown up.
Not sure. Not sure if that's something that
is there going to be
consider.
significant movement with this roster with the discussions that we have here?
But what's become clear is their spine is not good enough to match it with the big teams. The 1, 6, 7, 9, you can't compare it to Melbourne. You can't compare it to Penrith. You can't compare it to Brisbane. It's inferior. And they're at the point now where they want to compete for titles. So if they don't fix that up, they're going to struggle to take the next step.
I thought Connor Tracy was good this year.
He fell away at the back end of the year. I thought he's done a great job for him.
He did have a bloody big injury mid-season.
Yeah, remember that stomach thing?
Yeah, he did. But he fell away. And
that might be
their halves weren't very good at the back end of the year.
So do you see, so just say they had a spine of Crichton, Wood at halfback. Woods at halfback. Galvin at 6 and Bailey Hayward at 9.
It's getting there. I still think it reminds me of Parramatta a couple of years ago where they were thereabouts, but you felt like they were an X factor or a game breaker short Like you put, I know there's whispers which aren't true about Kalen Ponga, but you put Kalen Ponga at fullback, I'm thinking this team can win a comp. They can score points from nowhere. You put Nathan Cleary in that team. I know that's easier said than done. Good luck finding him. They've been trying to find him. They tried to sign Pappenhausen. It's harder to sign these guys.
Hey, just a quick one on Brisbane. I was interested to see that they put Reece Walsh up for an all-in.
Wasn't everyone up?
So I was at their
No, they don't have to put everybody up. Like,
I saw Payne Haas was up as well.
yeah, but I like the way they choose maybe 8 guys or 8 guys. Like, well, for instance, this week there's been no sign of Ronaldo Mulitalo so far.
He said a few things, though.
No, I'm saying like in terms of being put up.
Oh, by the way, haven't the Sharks got the ump with everyone? They've got this. There's a siege mentality being bred in that dressing room, and it is flourishing.
I think I brought it up. Was it last week here? Where
no, but even out of the weekend, it's like everyone's written us off. All the haters,
they won't win this.
All the knockers. That's gone up.
Yeah, that's good. It feeds their mentality. People saying that they're not. They're not. Let's be fair income. They could go on a run and make it grand final, but they haven't been consistent this year. They had a good run to finish the year, but it ends this weekend against Melbourne.
Thanks, Rex Mossop. Just with the...
Do you know who that is, Jamie?
Yeah, fisherman.
Yeah. Once got hit in the head with an apple when he was doing a live broadcast, and I can only hope.
I'm not going to that game. Why do you think I said it?
How has access been this week? Because I asked the Reece Walsh one about, wow, you put your rock star up. So, it's only going to it's not going to. It has the potential to kind of inflame the tension before the game. Yeah, well, it's something about Nathan Cleary, and he's got to contend with us.
Yeah. I like that.
Have Penrith bunkered down? Are they're hard to get to this week?
We haven't seen. Well, I think they're going to put up a bunch of players again this week. So they've been good. Yep. I don't think Nathan is going to talk this week.
Yep.
I know Ronaldo's not talking at Cronulla. Well, at least that was the plan early in the week.
Yeah.
But I went out to Cronulla this week, and that most of their big names spoke. And Penrith, their big names might be being saved for later in the week. There's been good access.
That's good. That's good to hear. A couple of quick ones before we go. Newcastle approached Luke Keary to get involved with a bit of coaching in the halves area, consultancy. Obviously has a relationship with Justin Holbrook, know each other from time at the Roosters. So good move.
I think it's a bold move. I'm no guarantee he does it, but they've reached out to him, had some conversations about him working with Sandon Smith, Dylan Brown, Fletcher Sharp, Kalen. I think it's a good move. He's a smart operator. Whether he wants to do it or not, my mail is that he wants to travel the world with his family for the next 3 months, come back, and that probably works out well by the time they start doing some ball work. He can join in January and help them out. Now, as I said, it might not happen, but I think the way they're thinking is the right move. You get your normal assistant coaches in, and then you bring someone in to work directly with these guys. And he's a 3-time premiership winner. It could be a good signing. It's a bold move. He's also got a relationship with the director of football there, Chris James, who was at the Roosters as well.
There you go.
The connections are there.
Bit of scuttle, Danny.
Perth.
As we're talking, there's a media conference on, and Perth are going to announce. It's not huge news, but they're going to announce their first sponsor. It's going to be a sleeve sponsor, Budget Direct.
Yep.
It's going to be
car insurance for all the boys.
Double the average for the sleeve sponsor in the NRL. It's supposed to be about 1.2 million, which is pretty good money for a sleeve sponsor. And front of jersey, they've already knocked back about 1.8 for their front. They want about 2.5 for the front of jersey to make it the highest in the NRL.
Bring back cash converters on the front of a Perth jersey.
Good money.
The old Western Reds.
Good money.
Who's going to be the first player announced to wear one of them babies?
Don't know.
Toby Sexton.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm joking, mate.
Well, no, some people are saying Toby Sexton.
Really?
Yeah,
okay. I was just making a joke.
Yeah.
Galvin? Precious too much, needs to go to the West.
Don't say Matt Burton.
When is their first signing going to be?
I reckon they go
announced?
after Kohler. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, there's scuttle about that.
Tommy Kohler.
Yeah.
Play fullback.
It's just been a Manly bash up, this has.
Yeah, well, let's get Mestrov on the phone next week. Let's see how he goes.
Won't be with me on
Big fan.
Gentlemen, have a good weekend. Enjoy the footy.